sadness, or it was somehow frightening for you, that your experience, something which was related to maybe sports adventure, could be frightening for you, or some movie could be a scary or a horror movie for you. So I have different words that you can use in your IELTS speaking cue card specifically. So these are the synonyms for the word fright. Now let's have a look at them. The first one that I've written for you is fearsome. So fearsome word can be used by you all, and followed by that we have petrifying. Petrifying. So you can use the word I was petrified when I saw him or when I saw her, or it could be scary. This is like a very common word, you must have come across it. Horror. If you have to depict something which is related to movies, then you can use this word horror. Then we have spine chilling. Spine chilling can be used as a synonym for frightening. And then we have hair raising. So hair raising is something which gives us goosebumps. So you can use these kinds of words if you have to depict your emotion which is somehow related to frightening word. So I hope this slide is clear to you all. You can just take a screenshot of it and just add this to your vocabulary list, these words. And moving ahead to our next slide. I hope these words are clear to you. So in my next slide, what I have for you all is the idioms that are basically related to fruits. And these are the idioms that you can use in your IELTS speaking specifically. They are just for IELTS speaking. You don't have to mention them in your IELTS writing task 1 or task 2 anywhere. These are the idioms that I'm just giving you. If you are able to remember them, you can use them in your IELTS speaking specifically. If you have to depict something in your cue card or maybe in part 3. So what we have over here, the first one is apples. You can again take the screenshot of this slide. It will help you later. The first one that I have for you all is apples and oranges. So if you say apples and oranges, that means that you're trying to say to be different. If you're trying to be different, so if a person is trying to be different, then a person can say he was trying to be apples and oranges, right? Or peach. So you must have come across it on, like you must have come across it, you are peach, right? So what is peach? Peach is a person or a thing that is beautiful. So the word that is used is peach over there. Then we have a plum job. If you're doing something, if you're doing a job which is good job and you want to depict it in a form of an idiom, the word, the phrase, the idiom that you can use is a plum job. A plum job. For example, if I have to say, I can say that I'm doing a plum job by teaching my students IELTS. So this could be a sentence. Moving ahead, a bite at cherry. An opportunity to achieve something. An opportunity to grab something, an opportunity to, raise ourselves to some higher level. So what you can say is a bite at cherry. Then we have the apple of your eye. So the apple of your eye is basically, if I have to say that in Hindi, then it would be somehow related to aankhon ka tara, something like that. So the person who you are fond of, that is apple of your eye. So my brother is my apple of my eye. I can say that. Then we have go bananas. Go bananas is to become very angry. So again, go bananas could be used if you have to depict an emotion which is related to this angry behavior. If you have to show this, then you can use the word go bananas. You can use the idiom go bananas. So she will go bananas if she sees her house in that form. If she will see that there is some, chaos in her house, then she is going to go bananas. You can use all these idioms. I have just clubbed up the idioms which have fruits in them, basically. I would just again repeat it. Apples and oranges, peach, a plum job, a bite at cherry, the apple of your eye, go bananas. If I'm clear till here, and if you are clear with the usage of these idioms, then please type yes in the comment section so that we can move ahead. Okay. And I'm again telling you that these are only the idioms that you can use for your IELTS speaking. Don't try to inculcate them in your IELTS task 2. Please don't do that. Okay. So for today, yeah, I also have some synonyms for the word important. This is like, whenever we are writing our task 1 or task 2, or if we are speaking, then we are in habit, like we need to use the word important, right? So I have few synonyms for the word. I have Veer. Okay, thanks, Veer. I have few synonyms for the word important. That is significant, indispensable, crucial, vital, cardinal, salient, imperative, major. Please take the screenshot of this slide. I always say try to inculcate lexical variety in your task too. Or if you're even talking about your IELTS speaking, then rather than using this very normal word, common word, which is important, you can use such words, for example, indispensable, crucial, vital, cardinal, salient, imperative, major, significant. So all these words can be used instead of using the word important. I hope I am clear till here. So next time, if you have to use the word important in your task 2, don't use it. Try to use any word which fits best according to your perspective or whatever line you have to. I'm just switching on to the next slide. I hope you've taken the screenshot of this one. Okay, so now what we are going to discuss today is about our IELTS writing task 1. My previous class, in the other class, I taught you how to write IELTS task 1 whenever we have a tabular representation in which we have percentages. But in today's class, we'll be learning that how we need to use the words for line graphs. What is the specific vocabulary? I have also mentioned in my previous classes that we have specific vocabulary for bar graphs, for line graphs, for pie charts, for maps, for tabular representations, and that diagrammatic representation of processes. We have different vocabulary for these different tasks. Though there are common words also, there are common connectors also, but still there are few vocabulary words that are linked with one particular task itself. So if I talk about line graphs, then we have specific vocabulary. That is what we're going to learn in our today's class. Now let's start with the, just have a look at this graph. Now let me have a pen first. Okay. So first of all, we are able to see that this line starting from here is climbing up gradually. So the words that can be used is gradually or slowly. So as we're able to see that this is actually climbing up gradually or slowly. So if you see something like this in the data that is provided to you, so the words that can be used are climbed gradually, climbed slowly. And then the word comes over here is slumped or plummeted. Please add these two words to your vocabulary. If you have to mention something which is decreasing, which is falling, then the word that you have to use, then the words that you can use are slumped, plummeted. Please have a look at the spellings of plummeted. It is like a very common word that is used in an IELTS task 1. Plummeted, Plummeted. And the one thing that I skipped over here is this increased. So what we are able to see over here, as it has increased sharply, ekdam se badh gaya hai. So the words can be sharply or it could be dramatically. Okay, so what I'm trying to say is, slump को अगर मुझे हिंदी में बोलना हो तो हम यहाँ से observe कर पा रहे हैं कि after reaching this point, this graph has actually decreased. If this graph has decreased, it is actually gradually decreasing over here. So when it starts decreasing, so the words that can be used, the synonyms that can be used are slumping or plummeting, slumped or plummeted. Slumped and plummeted, these are the words that you can use if you have to show something that is decreasing. Moving ahead, we have the words that can be used if we see a stable, stable statistical data has been shown to us, stable performance has been shown to us, then the words that can be used are stabilized or leveled off. Stabilized and leveled off. If the graph remains constant, if we have to depict something which is constant at that point of time, we can use the word stabilized and leveled off. Moving ahead, if we have to depict something which is decreasing, which is declining, so the words we can use are slightly dropping or declining or drop. So again, I would just repeat this vocabulary once again for you all. So this is like the basic vocabulary which everyone should know if we have to write line graph. And please note this again, this vocabulary, the words that I'm mentioning over here are specifically for line graphs. Don't try to add them in your tables that we did in our previous sessions. No, you cannot add the words climbed or stabilized or dropped. You can use the word drop though, but it has to be used specifically in the line graph. Let's repeat, let's revise once again. If we have to talk about something which is gradually climbing, which is going up, so the words could be gradually or slowly. If something is increasing very sharply, ekdam se badh gaya hai, so the words, two words have to keep in mind, sharply and dramatically it has increased. If something is decreasing, then the words that you can use, dheere dheere, if something is decreasing, then the words that can be added to your vocabulary are clumped and plummeted. And if something is getting stabilized, if something is getting constant, then the words could be leveled off and stabilized. And if something is again declining or dropping, so you can say slightly it is declining or it is gradually declining, gradually decreasing. So these are the words that you need to add to your vocabulary list. I hope I'm clear till here. You can take the screenshot of this as well. Also, I wish to add these words to your vocabulary list that are, if you have to use the synonyms for the word increase, you can use the word rise, go up, uplift, rocketed. Rocketed is a very common word that is, oftenly used in IELTS task 1. If you show something that is increasing, that is rocketed up, then you can use climb. It climbed up, upsurge, soar. So please have a look at all these words. Please repeat slump. Please repeat about slump. Okay, why is slump creating a lot of confusion? Okay, just give me a second. So increase is rise, go up, uplift, rocketed, climb, upsurge, soar. All these are the synonyms. All these are the words that you can use if you have to replace the word increase. मूविंग अहेड, अगर हम स्लम्प्ड की बात करते हैं या फिर प्लमेटेड वर्ड की बात करते हैं, तो अब मैंने बोला कि अगर कोई चीज सिंपल सी लैंग्वेज में, अगर कोई चीज पीक पर, फॉर एग्जांपल इस पॉइंट पर थी, अभी वो वहां से नीचे आ रही है, इट इज डिक्रीजिंग, अगर वो गिर रही है तो हम जो वर्ड यूज कर सकते हैं दैट इज स्लम्प एंड दैट इज प्लमेटेड. In my upcoming slides, I have written a task 1. I will show you how to use these words. I have used the word slumped over there. I have used the word plummeted over there. So you'll get a fair idea about it, that what is the basic usage of these words and how we need to inculcate these words into our sentences. So if I'm still not clear with plummeted and slumped, then don't worry. We'll just continue further and you'll get to know, you'll have a better idea in the sentences. If I'm clear till here, please type yes in the comment section so that we can move ahead. And I want everybody to please, try to learn these words, try to add these words to your vocabulary list, because whenever you're writing task 1, you need to use these words. These will bring lexical variety to your task, which will definitely help you to achieve your task. After COVID, every profession is slump. Yes, every profession is in slump. Every profession is slumping. You can even say that. So, if you're clear till here, please type yes in the comment section so that we can move ahead. Okay. Great, great, great. So moving ahead to our next slide, which is again related to the vocabulary of line graphs, is this one. Now let's have again a look at what kind of words we need to use if we have the graphs. See, the very first thing which I have for you is this one. If something is decreasing, this is like a common graph. Though I have told you a lot of things in my previous picture only, but it's just that I'm trying to summarize them, and I want to teach you two more words, that is gradual and rapid. So this is decrease, as we're able to see that it is decreasing. I hope this is clear. This is increasing. Then this is steadiness or standability, or the other words that we read in our previous slide also, that is leveled off or stabilized, steadiness. Then we have two words over here that you need to add to your vocabulary list, that are rapid and gradual. So you need to know the difference between what is rapid and what is gradual. Is there some can I have the answer from somebody who can explain me that why this line is gradually increasing and why this one is, the word that is used over here is rapidly increasing? Do we have someone who can explain me the difference between gradual increase and rapid increase? You can switch on your mic to explain it.
I'm gradually increasing, bro, because this line is increasing slowly.
Yes.
Not very fastly.
Yes.
And in the other line, it is rapid increase because it is very fastly increasing.
Exactly. So this is like एकदम से बढ़ जाना is rapid increase. आप लोगों ने सुना भी होगा rapid fire round. Rapid fire round में जब questions पूछते हैं तो एकदम से फटाफट से questions पूछे जाते हैं. There is no pause. So they are not gradually asked, they are rapidly asked. That's why it is called as rapid fire round. And if I'll talk about this gradual word, it is like धीरे धीरे से बढ़ना. And then the word that I need to add to your vocabulary list is rapid changes. अगर हमें ऐसा लगता है कि हमारे ग्राफ के अंदर rapid changes आ रहे हैं, वो एकदम कभी बढ़ रहा है कभी decrease हो रहा है, so the word that you need to add to your vocabulary list, the word that you need to write is fluctuations. It was showing fluctuations throughout the time period. Fluctuations, Fluctuations, fluctuations. I have not mentioned it here, but it is an important word that you need to know. If rapid changes are occurring in the data that is given to us, then we will write fluctuating. It was fluctuating, or rapid, or fluctuations were taking place. I hope this picture is clear to everybody. Rapid decrease, gradual increase. We can also have gradual decrease. We can have rapid decrease. Then we have steadiness. Then we have decrease. All these are the normal words in fluctuations. If I'm clear till here, please type a big yes in the comment section so that we can use these words in a real time, IELTS task one that I have written. If I'm clear, if you're able to memorize some of these words, please type big yes in the comment section so that we can move ahead. Okay, so only Veer and Kanika are clear with it. What about others? Okay, great. So now let's move ahead to our next slide, where we are going to actually see that what type of graphs, what type of line graphs we have, and what is the data that is given to us. So I'll give you 2 minutes to look at the question first, look at the graph, then we're going to discuss. Once you're done, please type 1 in the comment section, then we'll move ahead. So if you're done reading, if you're done analyzing it, please type 1 in the comment section so that we can move ahead. Okay, great. So now let me read this question for you all once. The line graph gives information about the number of Iranian, Greek, and Turkish students who enrolled at Sheffield University between 2005 and 2009. Summarize the information. Now let me clarify you this line. Everyone should be clear with this line, that is, summarize the information. मतलब हमें इस सारी information को club up करना है by selecting. As I always say you, at least devote 2 minutes in analyzing your task, in selecting the important data, in selecting the data which you think that you need to mention, then reporting the main features. Whenever you're analyzing it, just have a look, try to find out what are the important aspects that can be mentioned in our task 1 and make comparisons where relevant. In my previous class also, I told you IELTS task 1 is all about making comparisons. We don't have to write directly anything. We cannot write directly the percentage of boys was 16% and that's it, we are done. No, every line that we are writing should consist of comparisons. Try to include maximum comparisons in your IELTS task 1. That will really help you to achieve, better bands. Now let's have a look at this graph. Some international student enrollment is given for Iran, Greek, and Turkey. Then we have number of students over here. So let me move to our next slide where I've actually started with my task. I've written the task. So the very first thing that I told you is that this line that is given to us is to be paraphrased. Now what we're going to do, we are going to paraphrase this line, and that would be our first paragraph, our introductory paragraph. So let's see how I've done. The line graph, that will remain the line graph, gives, I have written shows information. I have written the word data about the number of Iranian, about the regarding the. So despite of writing the word about, I have written regarding the number of Iranian, Greek, Turkish students who enrolled at this. So I've written international students. Why I've written international? Because over here it was given international students and international students enrollment from these 3 countries, that is Iran, Greece, and Turkey. So I have not mentioned Iranian, Greek, and Turkish. I've written the names of the countries rather, Iran, Greek, and Turkish, because that's the maximum I could have, paraphrased it. At Sheffield University, I can do nothing with it because that's the name. From. So despite of writing the word between, I have written from 2005 and 2000 and ki jagah I have written from 2005 to 2009. So this was the maximum that I was able to paraphrase for my introductory paragraph. So is my introductory paragraph clear to everyone? I could have looked for some other word also rather than using this word enrollment though, but I have saved that word for my upcoming paragraph 1, BP1 and BP2. So what I've done is, despite of writing the word enrolled, I have synonymized it. I have written the word enrollment. So if I'm clear with the first introductory paragraph, please type I in the comment section so that I know that yes, you are clear with how it has been paraphrased. I in the comment section. Okay. What about others? If someone wants to ask any doubt or something like that, you can ask. Now moving ahead to one of the most important aspects I always say in task 1, that is writing the overall paragraph. Again, I would like to mention that it is not pivotal to write this overall paragraph over here. If you wish to write it at the end, you can definitely go with that pattern also. Now, I always mention that whenever I am writing my overall, I always start my overall paragraph by writing as an overall assessment, it is conspicuous that. So as an overall assessment, it is conspicuous. So the word conspicuous means it is clear that it is giving us a fair idea. It is making crystal clear that. Now, see, according to my perspective, what I felt was that overall should consist of this, the point where they are meeting. If we have a line graph where we have something which is equivalent, something which is equal, somewhere where the two lines are meeting, then that information is somehow considered important, that is somehow considered cardinal, and you can, include that in your overall paragraph. So this is what I've done. The number of admissions of Greek and Turkish pupils. Now I wish to add this word to your vocabulary. Despite of using the word students again and again, you can use the word pupils. So pupils is also a synonym for students. So those who are studying, actually, the word that is used for them is pupils. So pupils were equivalent in 2007. So in 2007, as we're able to see that the number of admissions from this Greek and Turkish pupils, they were actually equivalent, they were equal. So I found this information that should be included. And the Greek students witnessed. Add this word again to your vocabulary list, witnessed. You can use this word witnessed. Witnessed hota hai ki aisa hua. Witnessed a gradual downward trajectory. Witnessed a gradual downward trajectory by the end of 2009. So as we're able to see, ye jo Greece wale students hain, that is this one, right? They are what they're witnessing. They're witnessing a downward trajectory. अभी अगर मुझे हिंदी में बताना हो कि डाउनवर्ड ट्रैजेक्टरी क्या होती है, दैट इज डाउनवर्ड ट्रैजेक्टरी मतलब ट्रैजेक्टरी होता है बेसिकली पाथ फॉलो करना. इट्स लाइक अ फिजिक्स वर्ड वेयर इफ यू हैव टू शो समहाउ अ मोशन, या हमें डिपिक्ट करना है कि कौन से एंगल पर या कौन से पाथ पे वो फॉलो कर रहा था, तो वहां पर हम वर्ड यूज कर देते हैं ट्रैजेक्टरी उसकी ये थी. So the word that I'm using over here is downward trajectory. You can, if you're able to see somewhere upward trajectory also, so you can use upward trajectory or downward trajectory by the end of 2009. So by the end of 2009, there was a gradual downward. Now, I hope I'm clear why I'm using the word gradual over here, as we've, studied in our earlier slides. So, yeah, see, this is what at this point in 2007, as we are able to see that the Greece and this Iran, Greece and Iran, okay. So Greece and Iran, this, this is green and this is blue, Greece and Iran. So this Greece and Iran pupils are equivalent. Why they're equivalent? Because the number of students that were enrolled over here were somewhere around 70, as we're able to see this. And also I would like to mention that earlier also I have told that we are not going to write the statistical data in our overall. Try to avoid the statistical data. Try to jot down this overall paragraph in words itself. You don't have to write in the statistical paragraph that if you have to write, for example, in 2007, the Iranian students that were enrolled were 70. No, don't do that. Don't write the stats. Try to avoid numbers in your overall paragraph. If I'm clear till here, then please type yes in the comment section. And I said yes, I said I because it was an introductory paragraph. That's why I just thought of, using the word I. So, Kanika, I hope I'm clear till here. Yeah, that was just, by mistake. So it's not Turkish. So if I'm clear till here, please type yes in the comment section so that we can move on to our BP1. Okay. So you can just inculcate the words like gradual, downward trajectory, pupils, equivalent, conspicuous, overall assessment. That's it. These are the words that we are able to learn from here. Try to write it with a timer so that you get to know that where you're lacking and what's your general speed. So let's move ahead with our BP1, which is the word that I've used over here is at the first glance. when I was teaching you about the words, that what kind of connectors I can use, I told you the word at the first glance. So don't use this word for your BP2. सिर्फ BP1 की स्टार्टिंग में ही हम इसको यूज कर सकते हैं, बिकॉज यहीं पर ही हमारा फर्स्ट ग्लांस होगा. सेकंड BP2 में हमारा फर्स्ट ग्लांस नहीं होगा. What is glancing? Is everyone clear with the meaning of the word glance? If you are clear, then I wish that please tell me in the comment section if you understand this word. What do you understand by the word glance? What is glancing? Look or observe. Yes. So at the first glance, तो अगर मुझे हिंदी में बताना हो तो I can say पहली नजर में मुझे ऐसा लगा. It's like that. So at the first glance, it is evident that, as I told you in my previous sessions also, that I use the word, it is evident that the Turkish students recorded. I mentioned 3 phrases: recorded, accountable, and touched the figures, right? So I've again used the word recorded over here, recorded a steady rise. Now let's see. First of all, I am talking about this टर्की वाले लाइन ग्राफ की हम लोग मेंशन कर रहे हैं. टर्की वाले ग्राफ को जैसे ही हम पहली बार देखते हैं तो हमें पता चलता है कि एक स्टेडी सा राइज हो रहा है यहाँ पर. सो दिस इज व्हाट आई हैव रिटन, दैट टर्किश स्टूडेंट्स रिकॉर्डेड अ स्टेडी राइज. स्टेडी राइज हो रहा है whenever I am observing it from 2005 to 2007. So from 2005 to 2007, it is actually gradually, or it is steadily increasing or rising from 2005 to 2007. Where the figures touch. तो अभी मुझे यहाँ पर उनको stats भी बताना था कि कितनी figures हुई. So that's why I've written where the figures touched 90 enrollments. So as you are able to see that over here we have the fair idea कि कुछ ना कुछ 90 के आसपास 2007 में 90 के पास चला गया. So that's why I've used the word where the figures touched 90 enrollments. Then I have not ended my sentence over here. I've continued it with the help of again a connector, which is followed by. So the word that I've used over here is followed by a gradual increase. यहाँ पर मैंने word use किया था rise, तो मैं इस rise word को दोबारा use नहीं करना चाहती थी. That's why I've used the word increase over here. By a gradual increase to 1200 admissions by 2009. तो आप अगर एनालाइज कर पा रहे हो तो आपको पता चल पा रहा होगा कि मैंने यहाँ पर जो स्टैटिस्टिकल डेटा मेंशन किया, फर्स्ट इधर मैंने उसको डिफरेंट तरीके से किया. मैंने बोला वेयर द फिगर्स टच्ड. फिर जब मैंने अपने फॉलो अप लाइन, नेक्स्ट लाइन, उसको कनेक्ट किया तो वहां पर मैंने अपने स्टैटिस्टिकल डाटा को अलग तरीके से रिप्रेजेंट किया. वहां पर बोला कि सिंपली मैंने बोल दिया कि 1200 एडमिशंस हो गए थे बाय 2009. 12 नहीं, यहाँ पर ये एक जीरो एक्स्ट्रा है, 120 एडमिशंस हो गए थे बाय 2009. आई होप आई एम क्लियर टिल हियर. Am I clear with my first line that how I've represented my data? If I'm clear, then please type 1 in the comment section. If anyone wants to ask any doubt, then we are open to it. No, we are not, see here, we are not using it ourselves. We are not using it ourselves. The graph says it is 80 and then it is 100, right? So it's obvious that between 80 and 100, if we are just, judging it approximately, if according to stats, if it is exactly in between. So that's why I've mentioned 90 over there. So it's nothing wrong that I am not trying to add data on my own. It's given over here. I hope I'm clear, Veer. Yes, you are absolutely correct that the data which is not given to us is not to be mentioned. This task 1, we cannot assume things on our own. जो दिख रहा है वही लिखेंगे, लेकिन यहाँ पर it is obvious, ये दिख रहा है हमें कि 80 और 100 दोनों के बीच में 90 ही होगा. हम ये नहीं कह सकते कि 80 और 100 के बीच में 70 भी हो सकता है, इसलिए हमने खुद ने एज्यूम कर लिया. नो, दैट इज ऑब्वियस दैट 80 और 100 और हमें दिख रहा है कि एग्जैक्टली सेंटर में है. दैट्स व्हाई आई हैव रिटन 90. Then moving ahead with the word, the connector that I've used. Yes. Though you're right at your point that we cannot mention data according to our own wishes, we cannot assume data. Furthermore is again a connector. The Iranians, अब मैं ईरान के ऊपर आ गई हूँ. Let me just rub this. Okay. So furthermore, I've talked about Turkish students. I'm done with them. Now I'm switching to my Iranian students. If I have to talk about Iranian students, they also followed the same sort of upward trajectory. Now, what I mean by same sort of, why I'm writing same sort, because as we're able to see, ये वाली trajectory और ये वाली trajectory almost same है. Like in fact, same ही है. That's why I've written कि उन्होंने भी, Iranian students ने भी same sort of upward trajectory. I've already mentioned the word upward trajectory and downward trajectory. So 2006 तक हम देख पा रहे हैं कि उनकी same sort of upward trajectory थी. That's why I've written this. And then यहाँ पर मैंने जो word use किया था, that was followed by. So obviously I cannot use the word same again and again. So the word that I've used over here is dragged by. इस ग्राफ यहाँ पर खत्म होने के बाद उसको ड्रैग किया गया है. किससे ड्रैग किया गया है? ड्रैग किया गया बाय अ स्लो क्लाइंब टू 90 रजिस्ट्रेशंस. अब मैंने एनरोलमेंट को सिनोनिमाइज किया विद द वर्ड रजिस्ट्रेशंस. एज वी आर एबल टू सी दैट 2009 2008 में अगर मैं ऑब्जर्व करती हूँ तो यहाँ पर इसको स्लोली ये जो इंक्रीज हो रहा है, दैट इज स्लोली क्लाइंबिंग एक्चुअली to 90, somewhere 90. So that's why I've written to 90 registrations in the later parts of 2008. तो मतलब अगर हम 2008 के later मतलब end की बात करते हैं तो later में end में जो उसके registrations हैं वो slowly climb होकर 90 पर पहुंच चुके हैं. Again मैंने dragged use कर लिया, मैंने followed use कर लिया. अब मैंने line को खत्म नहीं किया, मैंने the word that I used was after which. उसके बाद क्या होता है? It rapidly engaged admissions. Engaged और admissions को मैंने कैसे सिनोनिमाइज करने की कोशिश की है? Admissions जब होते हैं तो मतलब students engage ही कर पाया ना वो, इसलिए that's why I've written it. It rapidly engaged 120 students in the upcoming 1 year. Now rather, despite of writing this year 2009, what I did, अपकमिंग 1 year, आने वाले एक साल में उसने 120 स्टूडेंट्स को एंगेज कर लिया, ऐसा मैंने लिखा है. 120 is wrong over here. Then we should have I should have written 160 over here. So by the end of 2009, by the upcoming 1 year, what they have done is they have engaged 160 students in the upcoming 1 year. So this is the presentation that I've made, at 5:30 or maybe 6, no, not 5:30, 6 o'clock, 6 to 6:30. So I was in a hurry because I was busy for my whole day. That's why I've, typed wrong. Anyhow, if I'm clear till here, now let me add few words to your vocabulary. Followed by, dragged by, after which. These are the 3 words that I've used as connectors when I don't wish to end my line, I wish to add more data to it. If I've written a graph, if I've written a part of my graph, for example, I've written till here, after that, I have to write the other part of my sentence. Then the words that I can use are dragged by, after which, followed by, ensuingly also can be used. And if I have to show some trajectory, it could be slow climb, upward trajectory, downward trajectory. Then we can use plummeted, we can use soar, we can use slump, we can use fluctuations. So I hope I am clear कि जो vocabulary हम लोगों ने पहले discuss की थी, उस vocabulary को how I'm trying to include that vocabulary in my sentences in my BP1 and BP2. If I'm clear till here, then please type yes in the comment section. And if anyone is having any doubt, then also you can ask me. If you're clear, then please type a big yes in the comment section. Okay, great, great. I'm happy that it's clear to you all. So in the last BP2, what we're going to write, let me see the time first. Okay. We have 8 more minutes. Slow climb, धीरे धीरे से ऊपर बढ़ रहा है, ये कहना चाहते हैं हम. Slowly climb कर रहा है, मतलब धीरे धीरे ऊपर बढ़ रहा है, एकदम से नहीं बढ़ गया, rapidly नहीं हुआ, slowly हुआ. This is what I'm saying. And now let's move ahead to our last paragraph. Last paragraph, our BP2. So in BP2, obviously, as I was left with my Greece, so I'm going to mention the data which is related to Greece over here. So if we are moving to our next paragraph, the word that I've used over here is probing further. Is everyone clear with the word probing? Is everyone clear that why we are using probe का मतलब क्या होता है? If you're clear, then type yes. And if someone is not, I want somebody to write the meaning of probing in the comment section. Probing word का meaning लिखना है comment section में. If someone knows it. Continuing further. Okay. What else? Do we have someone else to tell the meaning of this? Probe. Probe का मतलब क्या होता है? Let me tell you what is probing. So probing actually में होता है when we are delving more into it. When actually में probe एक investigation से related word है, where we are trying to say that we are trying to delve more into it. We are going more into it. So we can say we are probing more into it. For example, if I have studied a subject and I am done with my volume 1 of that subject and I wish to know more about it, so I'll be saying that I'm probing further to the basic fundamental concepts of sciences or whatever I have to say. That is somehow probing further, where we are researching it further, where we are investing it further, sort of. So the probe word is used over there. So probing further, मतलब और analyze जब हम कर रहे हैं, तब हमें क्या पता चलता है वो देखते हैं. So probing further, the presence of Greece students. Actually यहाँ पर Greece students की जगह होना चाहिए Greek students. Because Greek, yes. The presence of Greek students showed fluctuations. The word that I used earlier also when I was teaching the vocabulary, हम यहाँ पर as we are able to see completely rapid changes are there. Sometimes it is decreasing, sometimes it's falling, it's climbing, then it's again falling, climbing, all that stuff. It is rapidly changing. So the word that I've used over here is fluctuations. It showed fluctuations throughout. Now why I'm using the word throughout over here? क्योंकि पूरे map, पूरे graph में I'm able to see completely कभी यहाँ पर decrease हुआ, then further decrease हुआ, then it stabilized, then it further decrease. तो हमें यहाँ पर fluctuations नजर आ रही हैं, छोटी छोटी rapid changes नजर आ रहे हैं. Beginning from start कहाँ से हुआ था? 180 enrollments से. 180 enrollments हमारे पास 2005 के अंदर थी. 2005 में as we are able to see we had 180 enrollments, next to which again I have used a connector, that is next to which a slight drop. Slight मतलब थोड़ा सा drop हुआ to 160. As you are able to see this 160 वाला portion, so slight drop to 160 entries. तो मैंने फर्दर मेंशन किया कि थोड़ा सा कम होके वो 160 पर आ गया. उस 160 पे आने के बाद that further again I've used the connector that further rapidly एकदम से वो plummet कर गया. See the usage of this word over here, that rapidly plummeted, that rapidly decreased, that rapidly falled to near 70 admissions in the following year. तो in the following year मतलब यहाँ पर अगर हम बात करते हैं तो वो एकदम से rapidly कहाँ पर fall हो गया था, 70 admissions के ऊपर it rapidly plummeted to mere 70 admissions. mere का मतलब होता है बहुत कम. In the following year, but it got stabilized. इसके बाद as we are able to see कि उसके अंदर stabilization आ गई थी. ये देखो, this is leveling off. वो बराबर हो गया. It became a constant. That is, it stabilized until 2008. तो 2008 तक इसकी stabilization रही. यहाँ से यहाँ तक ये stable हो गया. Dragged by, again I've used the word dragged by a continuous slumping. Slumping word हमने पहले भी मैंने vocabulary में भी पढ़ाया. तो what is slumping? That is decreasing, dragged by a continuous slumping. Continuously वो slump कर रहा है to 40 students by 2009. तो 2009 पर वो continuously slump हो गया. This is what I am trying to write. I hope कि मैंने जो यहाँ पर ग्रीस के स्टूडेंट्स की बात की है, ग्रीक स्टूडेंट्स की बात की है, that is clear to everyone. Are you clear with it?